Wow. So I'm hearing Vasyl Lomachenko has his next fight, and you might be surprised. Stay tuned. Boxing Ego here. If you like this video, make sure you hit the like button and also subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon on the top of your screen to get notified when the latest new content drops. 1. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. First of all, make sure you smash the like button. Also, subscribe to the channel if you're new. Thank you guys for the donations, the Patreons. We got a lot of stuff we're working on. Back with my original segment, Ego Rumor Mill, aka ERM. This is just like the title suggests, this is a rumor. I haven't heard anything official, but this rumor was pretty shocking to me. And make sure you follow me on social media too, at Boxing Ego. And if you guys have followed me for any length of time, I pride myself on trying to give you guys reliable information. I haven't seen any major websites or anybody else talking about this, but according to my sources, what I've heard is Vasyl Lomachenko has his next fight, and it's not Guillermo Rigondeaux, and it's not really a fight that I would have expected to be made. And from what I'm hearing, Lomachenko is going to fight the beginning of August 5th, against Nicholas Walters' leftovers. You know what I mean? And I hate to do that, but I'll explain to you guys. And that's Miguel Marriaga. And I seen Lomachenko had posted something. He had posted a picture, and he said, I don't know which picture it is, I don't really remember, but he said August 5th. See, and then he posted this, so I was like, okay, maybe this thing is heating up, right? He posted the Rigondeaux meme, and then he said Rigondeaux versus High Tech. So I'm like, cool, maybe they can go somewhere. But I seen it, I can't find it where, oh, here it is, August 5th, right? He posted this 3 days ago. So I'm like, okay, cool, maybe he could fight Rigondeaux. That would be a good fight. Rigondeaux said he'll come up to 30. I mean, let's get it cracking. But Miguel Marriaga, really? I mean, Top Rank continues to do certain things just like this. They do it all the time with Pacquiao, and now it looks like it's being done with Lomachenko. And what I'm referring to is there'll be a talent pool of all these different fighters that could be made, all these fights that could be made, and the fans would prefer fight A, B, or C, and then they'll choose option D that no one's really checking for. Now, for me, the reason this is disappointing is Rigondeaux's going at your head. And I've made several videos, other people are talking about this, and it sounds like something legitimate that he says he's willing to do. He says he'll come up to you 130, and instead of fighting him, you would fight Nicholas Walters' ex-opponent that you already beat. Nicholas Walters. What does that prove? You know what I'm saying? Lomachenko. See, this is what the problem is. And then when I bring these things up, say, hey, Rigondeaux, that's a fight that should be made, or I don't have Lomachenko as #1 pound for pound, then I'm the bad guy. Lomachenko's a great fighter. There's no hate in my blood. It's not taking anything away. But if HBO wants to say he's pound for pound #1, Miguel Marriaga is not going to prove that to me. Because one, Nicholas Walters, here, let me show you. I can always show you better than I can tell you, but I'll do both for the sake of this video. Miguel Marriaga has a record of 25-2. Now, he did beat Nicholas Walters in the amateurs, but Nicholas Walters came back and beat him, and I thought he beat him thoroughly, and he looked good in that fight. And Nicholas Walters fought him in 2015 and beat him down. Walters came overweight in that particular fight, so there was no title at stake, and he knocked Marriaga down in the 9th round. But I thought it was a dominant win. Great body work from Nicholas Walters. And then Nicholas Walters would later have a little bit of a hiatus after the Jason Sosa, which should have been a win. They said it was a draw. He had a little bit of a layoff, 11 months or whatever it was, and fought Lomachenko, and he was beaten to submission, kind of like Kovalev versus Warden, the rematch, right? So that was a good win for Lomachenko, even though I think inactivity and the weight gain in the off season and them having a fallout in the summer and not being able to make the fight. Because Nicholas Walters, some people don't know this, but he was offered an amount when they negotiated the first time in the summer. He was offered more money, and then when it came back around, he had been out of the ring so long with no other fights, aka he'd been stalled out, he'd been starved by Top Rank, and they didn't give him no other fights. He was probably desperate because there's only so long you have. Let's say he has a car and a boat and family and stuff. You got to pay for your things. You have to pay bills and mortgages or whatever, and you got to make a living. So, I mean, you guys try getting a lump sum of money and living off that for a year with nothing, no new like income. You know what I mean? So Walters took less money when they re-offered him the fight, the Lomachenko fight, and he paid for it. We haven't seen him back since. So either way, I mean, Lomachenko did his thing, and Walters couldn't touch him. That was one of the big issues. But Walters, the guy you beat, already beat Miguel Marriaga. And then on top of that, what's worse, Shakur Stevenson had this triple header in STUB Hub just this last April, and Oscar Valdez, who's a champion, a good champion too, knocked him down and beat him. It was kind of a war, but so he lost to basically all the big names that he fought, Nicholas Walters and Oscar Valdez. And then on top of that, correct me if I'm wrong, but Lomachenko's fighting at 130, and to my knowledge, these fights he fought Walters at 127 because Walters came in heavy, but he's a featherweight. Look at it, 126, 124, 126. Like, he fought Mario Antonio Mices at a higher weight, but who is that guy? You know what I mean? You're going up against a talented fighter at 130. His last fight was at featherweight, 125 and a half is what he weighed in. You know what I mean? And he got knocked down by Oscar Valdez. So why would I want to see Lomachenko fight a guy who's coming off a loss from just April, got knocked down by Nicholas Walters and Oscar Valdez, and lost both of his big step-up fights, right? You could say, oh, he's tough. But tough, I mean, that doesn't give you a victory. I mean, Lomachenko is a good fighter, but now you guys understand it. The RigondeauX fight is far more telling. Lomachenko is a talented fighter, attitude of a champion, hustle like an underdog. He's great at what he does, but now you guys understand this. To me, that can't be, when you got guys like Andre Ward who have way more fights than Lomachenko, and he's battled in situations where he wasn't supposed to win. Neither Kovalev fight. People thought Kovalev would knock him out in both those fights. He set the record straight, cleaned up his act, came back with a better game plan, and stopped Kovalev. Despite all the bullshit that Lomachenko and other people, oh, it was low blows and the ref should have waited. I mean, that was a judgment call from the ref, but it still doesn't excuse or change the fact that Kovalev had the same ailment that he had in the first fight. He looked out of breath, he looked gassed, and he got hurt with the headshot. Whatever Tony Weeks did after that and some borderline belt shots, fine. But Kovalev still looked like it was inevitable. You know what I mean? And he didn't knock Ward down or anything. He was working behind the jab, and that's all he could get. He couldn't get off the 1-2. He had no combinations, no hooks. You know what I mean? And Lomachenko was like, because he's friends with Kovalev, he was kind of, I seen an interview, he's kind of making excuses. But you can't trump someone like Ward, and you're fighting Miguel Marriaga, Jason Sosa. Nicholas Walters, to me, beat Jason Sosa, and they said it was a draw, but he really beat him, and it was a robbery or whatever you want to call it. And he actually beat Miguel Marriaga, and so did Oscar Valdez. You know what I mean? On paper, not just what we think, that he actually won on the scorecard. And this is who Lomachenko is fighting. You got to do better than that, because even the Orlando Salido guy that beat you, he has several losses. Mikey Garcia beat him. Gamboa beat him. Rocky Martinez, I thought, should have lost to Salido in the rematch. He had been stopped by Mikey Garcia. So this in this few fights, 9 fights or whatever he has, does not prove. I could see talent. Trust me, I see talent with Lomachenko. But fighting, and again, I told you I don't like using leftovers because each fighter is their own person. But we know Lomachenko is good. So Miguel Marriaga, what's he gonna do? He got knocked down by Nicholas Walters, and he got knocked down by Oscar Valdez. He's coming off of a loss. How's that prove any type of pound for pound status? And on top of that, Lomachenko is the WBO champion. So I hope this rumor is not true. I'll keep you guys posted if it is made official, but I'm not really feeling this fight. Again, on the Shakur Stevenson, Gilberto Soto Ramirez card, Miguel Marriaga just lost at featherweight, and he's a featherweight. You look at, again, go look at, this is his resume. 2 losses were both times he stepped up. He fought an Olympian in Oscar Valdez, and he fought a guy who he had previously beaten the amateurs, and he got knocked down and lost both, right? And look, the rest of his names aren't really big name. Christopher Martin just lost by to that Mighty Mouse dude or whatever, Mighty Midget, and he doesn't really have any other big names. But most importantly, he's a featherweight moving up to 130, because if it's a title fight, it has to be sanctioned at 130. He's a featherweight, career featherweight, who is moving up to fight a person like Lomachenko. So I think Top Rank missed the mark on this fight. They truly did. You're picking on a guy. You can say, oh, he had a war with Oscar Valdez, but that was at featherweight. How's he going to deal with Nicholas Walters, or excuse me, Vasyl Lomachenko? Like, honestly. And he lost both of his big fights. That doesn't prove #1 pound for pound status. It's all politics, especially when you had a guy like I told y'all, made videos like RigondeauX, who's constantly calling him out. But oh wow, I didn't even see all this. Rigondeaux's posting chicken memes and stuff. I am sorry, boxing fans. Bob and Clemus asked me to ignore Rigo and fight someone less dangerous. Apparently the problem is that I am too motivated and too dangerous right now. Rigo Loma 2017. If off until there's less chances, I am going to win. Hashtag not afraid. Hashtag no huevos. Crazy. RigondeauX is going at your throat, at your neck, and you're fighting a guy who just lost in April and lost even before that to a guy Lomachenko already beat. I hope this rumor is not right. I will keep you guys posted. Let me know your thoughts. Drop it in the comment section. Make sure you share the video, like the video as always. Hate, comment, and subscribe. Till next video is Ego Son.